And yes, it's recording. Just keep reminding me. Right. Everyone can see what's written. You don't need to make it big, right? Okay. Thursday कोणे leave काढलेली counting खातीर ड्युटी. सो नवो सरकार म्हणटकच नवो कॉन्सेप्ट करचो पडलो ना. सो आता केन्ना जातलो, कोण कोणा बरोबर वतलो ते जावच्या पयलीं आमी आमचो कॉन्सेप्ट जाग्यार घालुया. सो लास्ट टाइम वी स्टार्टेड विथ अ कॉन्सेप्ट. खूप जणांचो फीडबॅक आयलो आमी खूप फास्ट गेले म्हणून. बीजेपीचं सरकार तुम्ही हाडलो न्ही, आता बुलेट ट्रेनच मेळटली. डबल इंजिन. नॉट माय फॉल्ट. सो सगळ्यांक शेप्स मिळिल्ले आसात. हय शेप्स मिळिल्ले आसात न्ही. ओके, आमी एकदा रिकॅप करतलीत, पूण हांव सांगता हे कित्याक दिला तुमकां. हय लाईट मातशी चला. असं म्हणून सगळ्यांकडे पेपर आसा बरोबर. 2 दिल्यात. टोटल मिळून 4 शेप्स तयार जातात. ओके, तुम्ही शेप्स खंयचीय घेयात. हांव जनरली ही यूज करता कित्याक हाजेर मातसो लाईट आसा आणि नंबर्स चड बरे दिसतात. सो एकदा पळोवन घेयात. कोण कोण ल्हान आसतना ही गेम खेळ्ळ्या. Tangrams. Yes, correct. How is this related to computational thinking? I just make sure everybody has got it. Okay, this and the graph paper. सगळ्यांक कातर हाड म्हटिल्ली गठबंधन कापपाक. So we need to cut the shapes. Okay, today is going to be art and a craft class. Art is फुडल्या वेळा क्राफ्ट करी. सो जसो टाइम मेळटा न्ही तशे सगळे शेप्स कापपाचे. पूण कापच्या पयलीं न्ही लेट अस लुक एट द नंबरिंग. ओके, तुमच्याकडे ग्राफ पेपर आसात न्ही सगळ्यांकडे. I'll quickly explain. परत आम्ही हे करूया. Before that we'll recap. So I'm just explaining. Okay, तुळेना पहिलीच कापून दवरतो. म्हणजे हातान कातर दिसले म्हणून समजत कळना. सो आमकां कितें करपाक जाय. हांगा पयली माउस सोदपाक जाय. Okay, so this is the game of Tangram. Now everyone try to find this lower right triangle, which in your case it is actually holding like a flipped version of this. If you try and hold, what you see on the screen, right, is flipped version of this. Correct? So this triangle that you see here is the triangle 4 that you have. Okay, that triangle 4 is to be placed like this. On a graph paper, put a line from the center, right? X and Y axis. And this triangle 4 is to be placed like this. So this point is 0, 0. All right. So what we will do is we will maybe put a text box. Right? And this is 4, right? Shape 4. Make it little bigger. So this is shape 4. Everyone can see it? Next is shape 1. 1 here, this one. The one that you see here. See, what you are seeing on the screen, right, is basically flipped version of what is there on your page.
And on the same paper, there are 2 sets.
Yes, on the same paper, there are 2 sets. सगळे एकदमच कापू नका. Right? So this is shape 1. There is one more shape which is same as and 2. 2 is nothing but shape 1 rotated. 2 is shape 1 rotated. Correct? So I'm not keeping it separate. Dimension wise, it's the same shape. What are the dimensions we'll see later, but just keep a note of this. Whenever you would be starting with shape 1 and 2 to be started in this position. Okay. Then which triangle is this one? Can anyone guess? This is 5. Correct. This is 5. This is 5. 4 पहिलं झालं. Right? This is 5. Okay. So let's mark this as 5. So this was 1 and 2. And what we are seeing here is 5. Also, okay. आम्ही सगळे क्लीन स्लेट केले इतले केले की भुरग्यांचे मार्क्स सुद्धा काढले कॉम्पिटिशनात. एक्झॅक्टली बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सेंटर वॉज इम्पॉर्टंट. सेंटर कळना फुडले काय कळना. सेंटराक बीजेपी हाय बीजेपी. Okay. This is shape 7. Correct. This is shape 7. See its position, okay, how it is marked. Which side? The sides are important. The longer side of shape 7, this side, is kept diagonal. Okay. Makes sense, right? Which shape is this? The only parallelogram. Correct? Which is there. See how it is placed here. See how it is placed here. Okay. Note the center point. Okay. Very, very important. The point which is there in the center. And finally, this is the triangle. Sorry, square. 3. This time, sir. Just notice how it is kept. Okay, it's not kept like a normal square. It's rotated, and one point is kept on the origin. Correct? Center. Got it? This exercise is very, very important. Whenever you will be cutting it, right? Keep in mind the positions. We'll do it as many times as you want. If you want, we'll just share this to everyone also. It could have been. It could have been. We are just keeping one value. But the point is, one point has to be there around the center. So essentially, when I did it, it was flipped. When the printout came, it got flipped. Right? But if you see what has been done, Imagine this way, right? This was kept as a center, and all the shapes were considered around it. Just that they were not moved. So this is on the lower position, right? So this one that you see, essentially we did nothing more. This point was kept as a center, right? This is as is, this is same as this. So it was kept like this, correct? So we are not created two shapes for this. See, the square is as is from that point. Its position has not changed, right? This parallelogram was simply brought this side. Why we brought it this side of moment effort? To do anything else, we would have to get this down or this point right and down. The easiest option was simply get this point here. Only one axis movement, correct? Similarly, in this case, we just got this point here. And in this case, we just got this point here. That's it. Everything is kept as is. So whenever you are noticing a shape, noticing the center is very, very important. Okay. Yeah, that's Sunny. So in clean slate, whatever happened, everything had to come to a center. Same thing applies here. Fine. Okay. So a quick recap, what we did last week. Okay. So let's quickly go and look at Kojo. Yeah. Can you see it? Just notice the recording symbol. Most important. So what does the clear command do? Clears the screen, correct? And there is one more, which is called as clear eye. Turtle, takes away the turtle also. Okay. Now, whatever we did as part of that clean slate, right? Whatever those 6, 7, whatever those number of lines were, is all done with this one command. You can do all of those individual commands also, but as you will see, right? The moment you go to pictures, clean slate comes by default. Fine. Everything will happen from the center which is defined by where the turtle is. So you can leave the turtle there, it is good. And then we can also always use show axis and show grid to do this, correct? We can either right click. Those are the tools. Keep using that. Those will be very, very useful, right? So you can show the axis, you can show the grid, notice the positions. And as you're moving on the screen, right, your cursor on the lower right, it will be very difficult now this time. In DT, it was good. On the lower right, you can see the positions, right? So this is 195 by 145 somewhat, correct? So you can easily map these points, all right? So that's just for a quick thing. And then we had basic turtle movements. What were the turtle movements? Forward. So if it is positive, it is right. If it is negative X, it is left. Now here, it's very, very important to get the sense of positives and negatives, okay? If you increase positivity, you go towards right. If you increase negativity, you go towards left. Now, why am I saying this? If the position on the x-axis is minus 25, to go towards left, should you make it minus 30 or should you make it minus 10? Correct, minus 30, right? So negativity has to be increased. So if the value is already negative, you have to make it more. And the value is positive, you have to make it less. Got it? Positive on y side is up. Positive or negative on the y side is down. So you have one command, forward. Correct? What is the other command? Right. Yeah, hop is there, but hop is like more like a jump. So same thing, but it just jumps. Okay. Hop is short for take the pen up, forward, put the pen down. Okay. Right, left, turn. Right means take 90 degrees to the right. Left is take 90 degrees to the left. There is one more where you can specify right or left with an angle. Right, like let's try that out, right? Simply here. So we can say there is basically something called as turn. And okay, but we'll talk about that. Try and complete this, okay? Always. Yeah, turn. Right? Do you see turn? There is also turn east, turn north. If you want to use it, you can use that sense also. Right? North, south, east, west. So there is turn, and turn is basically same thing. But now you do not have a concept of right and left. Turn, if you give in degree, right? It will turn in the degree of a protector. So how the protector angle goes? Sort of goes anti-clockwise, right? So it turns this way. So you can use turn also. If you want to turn towards left, increase the angle. If you want to turn towards right, decrease the angle. As good as that. So there is turn. Okay. Right is nothing but turn in negative 90. Left is nothing but turn in 90. As simple as that. It's just those signs. There are some shortcuts, but essentially it's forward, turn. There is pen down, pen up. Then there is set pen size, set pen color, correct? And set fill color. Essentially, these are the commands. Make sense? Now, what exactly is an algorithm? We skipped this question in the 6th standard, right? We are still not talking about it because there is like a lot of confusion about how do we define an algorithm. And we tend to say algorithms are a set of steps and all those things, which often confuse the student because they believe everything needs to happen stepwise. And there is a relationship between why we don't want people to see the code. Is because then people think like a computer and not like a person who's designing the computer. Makes sense, right? So if let's say I have a musical note, anybody plays piano or anything? Keyboard? Yeah. So if I have a musical note, I give it to you, you will go line by line, correct? This is the note, this is the note, this is the note, correct? But let's say you have not heard the song before. You do not have a note, but you want to play it. What would you do? What is the first step? You will listen to the song, right? And then what? You don't really get the notes. There is something that generally happens, right? You find that one key note, root note, correct? That root note need not be like always the start note. It's sort of like a root note. It is somewhere there. You tend to find it, and everything either happens less than that or more than that. Correct? This is the process we are talking about. This is the process of producing the music. Other is the process of playing the music. In our case, we are the producers of the program. Computer is the one who's executing it sequentially. We don't go sequential. Make sense? If you're telling me, I'll not go by saying, oh, you know what, I'll probably need to declare a variable. I'll try and find out what is that smallest thing that I can solve first. And then everything sort of becomes like a special case of it. So when we went to draw Kavale, we didn't start by writing Kavale, right? We first tried to draw an arc. Correct? We then tried to make it like, then we realized that the turtle does not come to the center. So we solved it either by tracing the same step in the negative side or completing the whole circle by the remaining angles and then getting it back to the same point and then doing it on the other side. That gave us that shape. So it wasn't like, let's start doing crows by saying deaf crows. Obviously, computer will execute it in that form. The algorithm is for the computer, not for the people. For people, you have to make sure that it actually describes how you went about it. Kadani? The process is important. So this will be very, very difficult if you just take the photo of what the output code was. Believe me, this will go very, very difficult if you just take the output photo. The same reason we are saying not to put the code. Try and see how we are approaching it. Every step is important. If that step is going fast, pull me down. Okay, but notice the steps. If you want to note anything, notice the steps. It is okay even if you do not write the code down. If you remember how you went about it, you can try the same things and come up with your own methods. It's completely fine. Kadani? So notice the process. And we have to tell the same process to the students. Because that process tells them, okay, we have to do something. How do we start? That one point. That is why we talked about center and everything, right? The center is the known point. Nothing happens. Like even if you make that chart bigger, the center point remains the same. So we are keeping one condition same. That is the whole point. It's called isolation. So around that, we have these four things with turtle graphics. Scratch was a kind of a turtle graphics, right? Because there is a turtle. The turtle is something who has a face and it is looking in a particular direction. It can move around. It is having a pencil. Okay. So it can move in the forward direction. If you give a negative, it moves in the backward direction. Similarly, it can turn, it can do pen down, pen up, and so many other things. Like, change the color of the pen, the size of the pen, change the color which is going to get filled into it, and also. So we have noticed one thing, okay? We have a very, very limited set of operations, well defined. Barabar? Just hardly 4 or 5 steps. Everything that we did, right, including all that Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and all those greeting cards which happened with those 4 steps, 4 or 5. Which is forward, left, right, turn, whatever, pen down, pen up, pen size, pen color, and fill color. Fill color atun nashille. Kojo nasa. Itles atun. Now the point is, these are absolutely well-defined things. So I show it to you here. You listen to that, the same result. तशी recipe जाता. एक चिमटी मीठ घाल. आणि ते स्वादानुसार म्हणतात ते किती ते माका अजून कळूंक ना. लिंबू सरबत सुद्धा आईस केले आणि फाल्या केले जाल्यार वेगवेगळे लागतात. बरोबर न्ही? फक्त टपरी वयली चाय सारखी लागता. कोण कोण घेता? हांगाचे कोण घेना दिसता. हांगा सगळे सिसिडी काय कितें? सिसिडीन गेल्यार दुसरी गोष्ट. 200 रुपया देऊन चहा पियाला काय उदक पियाला काहीच कळना. So where were we? Yeah. So these are the points to be remembered. Okay, precise steps, well-defined small number of precise steps, using which ते पुढे फाटी वयर सकयल कशें तरी बरोवन आम्ही फायनल आउटपुट काडटा. So it's more like solving a Lego game or a jigsaw puzzle. It's not like following a step. तुम्ही केन्ना 4 भुरग्यांक जर सेम पझल दिले जिगजॉ पझल करपाचे कशें करतले ते विथ देअर ओन मेथड. कोण पयलीं म्हणटलो टॉप लेफ्ट कॉर्नर पासून सुरू करूया, कोण म्हणटलो ओ राव आपल्याक ही शेप दिसली न्ही ती खंय आसा ती पळोवया, ती थंय दवरतली, मागीर दुसरी शेप मेळ्ळी न्ही ती खंय आसा ती पळयतली, मेन हातून एक तर ताच्या सायडीन दवरतली वयर दवरतली सकयल दवरतली लायत वतले. दिस इज वन वे. बरोबर. थोडी जाणां हय ते घेतली ओ ही शेप हाका लागता ती ताका लागता ती ताका लागता अशें एक एक शेप ट्राय करीत वचप वॉट एव्हर. बट दिस इज वॉट किड्स विल जनरली ट्राय एंड डू. दे विल फॉलो डिफरंट वेज. But at the end of it, if you ask them to write what you did first, everybody will write it differently. कोणे पयली ती आपल्या हातान खंयची शेप मेळ्ळी आसतली ती धरली आसतली आनी थंयच्यान अराउंड सुरू केले आसतले. कोण टॉप लेफ्ट कॉर्नर पासून सुरू करतलो, कोण राईट कॉर्नर पासून सुरू करतलो, कोण ट्रायल एंड एरर करीत वतलो, मेळटा ते जॉईन जाताले पळोवपाक. But everybody will write their steps. Those steps are all individual algorithms. If executed by somebody else, will produce the same final outcome. Our point is not to share these steps. Our point is to give them the puzzle. Solve. Those puzzles are given by the blocks which are there. So just like we had those left, right, up, down, sorry, pen up, pen down, fill color, pen size and everything for turtle, right? We have a same kind of things for shapes. Now, when you are using it, right, you know that you can form multiple shapes using Tangrams, right? Anyone played it? We'll see some of it. You actually play that. And in your mind, while solving it, notice what kind of operations you do with each of those individual shapes you will cut on a graph paper. Can somebody just think and tell me what all you will do? So what we'll do is we'll do it and we'll ask the same question. But just remember while you are doing it, what you are doing. Got it? And the best part is you do it in whatever way you want. But let's say you need to tell me how I should do it without really looking at what you have done. What kind of steps will you give me? Make sense? So we'll play that game. But as a recap, there was one concept which got lost last time, and that was the topic of colors. Colors are important because you can actually fill with it, you can do multiple things. So gradient was not possible in Scratch. So gradient is something we are covering for the 7th standard. So in terms of colors, let us talk about setting a fill color. Okay, so let's say set fill color, and let's say a color red. Okay, and then I'll draw a square. How do you draw a square? You say forward. And did you notice this? What I'm doing? Do notice the process. Okay, did I type the whole forward? I said for and press Control space. Give me a forward. I chose that option. It is okay if you go slow, but get into this habit. Go slow right now, but get into this habit. And make sure when your students will do it, they also get into this habit. Otherwise, you will have a whole sort of issues. Brackets going here, brackets going there, commas getting missed out, capital and small getting mixed and everything. Get into this a bit. Didn't type the whole forward. So this time I'll focus on colors, pictures, and the process. Do not ignore the process. So forward, how many? Okay. 200. Right. So RI, right. Right. Do I need to give an angle? No. So repeat this 4 times and I'll have, what do I have? Square that is filled with correct. So it's filled now. I have a square that is filled with a color. Now there is this topic of something called as a color theory. We are not going in detail. पण जेन्ना आम्ही प्रिझमातल्यान धाडटात पळय कलर आमकां 3 प्रायमरी कलर्स मेळटा. Which are those? Red, green, and blue. RGB, called as RGB. So any color can be formed with a mixture of these 3 colors. Barabar? So, or even when the artist is there, right, he tries to do that. Let's say if he wants to prepare a brown, how will he prepare brown? Red and, or is it red and green? Red and green is whatever, doesn't matter. You can try it out here. Please do not put the question like how will you make a brown color? So the simplest thing is if you do control and click on the color, right? You get this color selector. And the first option there is R, G, and B. Forget the alpha value for now. Remember the alpha value is kept the highest. Okay. And everything is 0 to 255. There are total of 256 numbers. Now why 256? That's the whole bit theory. Right? How the concept word size and everything. Let's not go there. Okay. But this is sort of bit weird, right? Generally we talk in terms of percentages. 100% color, 50% color, but suddenly it's like 0 to 255. Looks odd, right? So 0 to 255. तातून जर green घालो, what is that color? So this is red and green, orange, correct? So let us make green 0 becomes full red. And then we increase the blue value. Correct? You can see it over there. If you put all, becomes white. Correct? How do you get yellow? Correct? That's yellow. And then you can mix and match these colors in whatever possible way. And you would sort of get various. So this makes it almost orange. And then some combination actually ends up giving you brownish. Yeah, almost a brown. I was not knowing these values. Okay, you don't have to. Trial and error completely. This is brown, right? Golden. I don't know. The other way is just move your pointers here and possibly you will find the color. So what you just asked is this very important question, right? We want to make a golden color. How do we make a golden color? Correct? So that is one limitation of this. You have to like completely know all values in how this works to correctly figure out how do you now make a golden color. So this is fine. This is the natural steps and everything. But how do you sort of make one? And that is why we have all the other different possibilities. The other model is much like how do we do shopping? कोणी shopping केले आली? Ma'am. So when we go to a shopping, आम्ही कशा उलयतात त्या कलराची ती रे मस्त लाईट असा डार्क असा आम्ही असे म्हणिना हातून मस्त ग्रीन घाल्यार कशें दिसतले राइट सो देर इज डिफरंट वेज लाईक एक प्रिझम मॅच केल्यार कसो जाता वन इज वी टॉक अबाउट अ कलर and in that color we try and either make it light or we make it dark, okay, and that is called as HSL. Now HSL, listen, HSL is a cone. आता अशी 3D येता त्या खातीर हाज्या फाटोफाट पळय so when जिम स्क्रॅचा बरोबर जिम पाळिल्लो कित्याक आता तुमकां कळ्ळा आसतलें because we are doing pictures. There is a lesson plan which serves as a precursor for pictures in 6th standard. So we are also doing Blender because knowingly or unknowingly, you will all find it difficult. Dimension, 3 dimension. It's a cone. You have to hold the cone in the hand. चौपाटीर गेलेल्या चण्याच्या पाकिटान कोण मेळटा आणि that's a HSL color, right? So what happens here in the HSL? It's hue, which means nothing but a particular color. आम्ही तांबडो म्हणतात कितें म्हणतात that's a hue, okay, and it's a circle. So let me try and find it and show it like last time. That will be better. So it's recording it, right? Yeah, it is recording. I hope. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So the rest of the two values, right? Saturation is the amount of gray value in that. You have a color, you want to add a gray to it or remove the gray out of it, correct? And then there is lightness. Lightness is kitty light here ghalta मी. So if it is fully lighted, सगळं जर ताका जर bright करीत गेलेले किती आता makes it white, right? So notice this. So that's also there. Yeah. So I'll bring that also here. Right. So this was the one that was shown last time. So take a look. Like, U is like a circle. It's an angle. At 0 or 360, it is red. And so on. मागीर 12 पाडो म्हणतात 120 240 360. So red, green and blue मेळटा. So red, blue, green and again back. Okay, then now this is an angle and I can now talk in terms of saturation. So if I make it fully saturated, it becomes, you want to try it out? A fully saturated color is what your color is, right? If you remove the saturation, it becomes gray. So grayscale print out astani. So that's why it is like that. So it's gray. Color kadlo, then you have a gray. It's grayscale. Okay. And then there is lightness. If you make it fully bright, no matter what hue or what saturation, if you make it fully bright, it is white. So that is why in the center, you always have white. Okay. And if you reduce the saturation, no matter what value for hue or a saturation, if you reduce the luminosity, it becomes black. Always. Right? You see the same. Right? We'll see the same model. Right? We'll see this. So there is, now we have seen. Correct? U is 0. Why? 0. So he did it before it. No matter what color. Okay. If you remove the saturation, it becomes gray. See, now the color is red, right? I remove the saturation, it becomes gray. Okay. A fully saturated color is a pure color. Red जाल्यार red. तातूंत मातसो ग्रे कितलो आमी घालत वता न्ही ते करपाक आमी सॅच्युरेशन कमी करीत वचपाक. It becomes grayish. Okay, and finally it becomes fully grayish. So notice this, as you go down, see how the color is changing. Okay, see, it becomes more and more grayish. It does not become dark. Notice that. It does not become dark. It becomes grayish. See, this is not dark gray. It's more like maroon kind of color. Okay? So becomes grayish. See, finally it becomes fully gray. And then finally there is lightness. Lightness is, see, at the middle, 50%. Why is it at 50%? Because it becomes fully bright, it becomes white, no matter which color. And if you make it fully zero, it becomes black, no matter what. Just see, now this is the red color, it's fully saturated. But if I make it fully light, no matter what, it becomes white. So the whole reason why this model was created is because they wanted to send a signal on a TV. Now, why did that matter? It mattered because black and white TV actually. They wanted to send the color signal on the same frequency. So what happened is the old TVs, they read only the gray value. So they continued to show the whole thing in a grayscale, and those who supported the next two values would show colors. Very interesting idea, right? If it was about RGB, you had to, even in the old time, you still had to send three colors. That was not possible. So this made it possible. So your TV signals used to be HSL. And if you make it, if you remove the lightness, make it fully zero, no matter what color it is going to stay black. So that's the cone. That's why it's a cone. It's a three-dimensional cone. Okay. Zale? So this is about, yeah. No. I was moving it, right? So if I run this again, it will make it black. Didn't change or what? Sorry, sort of. Yeah. It didn't change it, I think. Oh yeah, here it is changed. It somehow didn't reflect here. Maybe because I did it too fast. It's not reflecting. Maybe it's a kind of a bug. Sort of, it should now make it black. I think I should go slowly. Should go a bit slowly. Sort of skips it otherwise because it is running in parallel. Right? So this is how we would generally go about it. Make sense? So let's. The simplest way, if you don't want to have it any effect, right? Just don't use that color for a while. That is why you use def and give a color value, right? Find your color and then just put it there. So this is about the color. Everyone comfortable with the idea of a color now? HSL and everything. Saturation is how gray it is. Basically, fully saturated is either it is a color or it is a gray. So your old color, old black and white TVs were essentially not saturated. Okay. So that's what it means. So they were essentially only doing the lightness. Right? Either the pictures used to be a bit dark or they used to be bright, correct? So because of you, now you need to tell him how bright, how saturated the color is. So you need a color, how much of that color and how much of the light. So those are the three values. Okay. So that's about the color. Around the same time, right? Let us also talk about gradients. Now, what's a gradient? Gradient is some set of colors which continue to mix between them. You generally see it everywhere, right? Bucket of water, put a ink. If you see how the ink spreads, it's a gradient. Correct? Rapid antigen test kone kele. So when you put that drop, you see that flowing, right? Sort of starts very dark and continues to grow light. That's a gradient. The color of the sky is a gradient. Apple skin. So anytime we see a shadow, right, it's also like a kind of a gradient, but we generally see sky is fully blue. It's not. It's actually gradient. Sun does not send blue light, right? So all those colors, right? Blue scatters more. That's why you see blue. Red scatters less. So you generally see it. When it slowly comes to being like either a dawn or the sunset, right? Color sort of happens more like reddish. Then you see it like, it sort of becomes reddish and then finally it becomes on top. So it's just scattering. It's basically gradients. So everything that you see, right from the color of the sky to a rainbow, all are gradients. All right. That is how the colors spread within themselves. So let us quickly talk about the gradients here. Idea is very, very simple. Let us say the recording is on, right? I'll still make sure that this is yeah. Okay. So def, let's say colors. Okay. And take a look at what I did. Okay, I said def colors equal to, and then I pressed enter and got it on the next line. Try to get into some epics. Like your ID does not always do that, so try and get into that. Okay. Then finally we are going to say CM dot. Let's try with linear gradient. Okay. Again, I used control space. Keep that in mind. Okay. Then it gives me certain value. So I generally follow this process. If you try and follow it, it will become much more understandable. Right? Don't just continue typing the values over there. Okay. See what I do. Okay. Also notice that don't just try typing. So what I do is I'll group them like this, like this, like this, like this. And then I'll start changing the values. Because it gives me a very nice way of quickly figuring out what am I doing. And if I want to comment it out, I can easily say what this is, what this is, what this is, and so on. So what they, oh, sorry. Yeah. So it should be like this, correct. X2, Y2, C2. More correct one. Great. So now you are also getting into a practice. So what is X1, Y1? So it's linear, right? What do you mean by linear? Line. Linear is a line. And line always has 2 points. Mathematically, line has another definition also, but let's not talk about it now. Generally, whenever we draw a line, right, it has 2 points. Okay. Now, let's say this is 1 point, this is another point. Those are those X1, Y1s and X2, Y2. Make sense? This point and this point. So I am going to start with some color here, another color here, and between them, they will mix. Understand, right? Easy enough? I'll start with some color here and some color here, but don't always take it, okay? I can start from this point also. It's just that whatever that wider the gap, more mixing will occur. Smaller the gap, less mixing will occur. Got it? Or is it confusing? So we'll see why that matters. Remember, wider the gap, smaller the gap. That's important. Okay. Now, any two values. This is the first point. Identify whatever is the first point. If the y value remains the same, what is it? It's horizontal. Hold them like this, right? Same height, right? Height is y. And if the x value remains the same, it is vertical. Take a look at this. Right? It is not moving left or right. So x remains the same, it is vertical. Y value remains the same, it is horizontal. Always keep that in mind. So let us start from this point and let us go towards this point and try and fill the colors. So what is this point? X1 is 0, 0 is 0, Y1 is 0, color, let's say red. This is, let's keep that as an extreme point. I want to use it horizontally, okay? So I'm not going to change the Y, correct? So if this Y is 0, this Y also has to be 0. And what is this Y? Or what is this X? Is 200, right? 200, correct? So this is 200. And then this is going to be green. And cyclic is false. For now, just keep it false. And if we try and fill the color with this, see, set, control space, set, fill color, and colors. Okay. But while we are changing it, right, the speed of the turtle creates a problem. We are also going to make the turtle, yeah, super fast, super turtle. So set speed, super fast. Super. Super fast. See, there is a red there, there is a green there. Notice this, okay? In between, there is this intermixing happening. So there is some part of green here. On the projector, it's not very visible, but some part of red here. So it's mixing. It will be absolutely green at 200. It will be absolutely red at 0. And in between, it's going to mix. So your color wheel is a gradient. Look at the structure of the code. Okay? This year onwards, we need to highlight the process of coding, not the code. Didn't feel much with the drag and drop, but now it's going to fill sharply. In this version, yes, there's like linear multiple gradient where you will do more. Here it is just 2, but it's important to get an idea of how the gradients work. Okay. Yes, because it's between 0 to 200, right? If you make it false, then you are getting full red. Oh, that is because it is on this side. So this turtle is turning 90, but that is turning right. Yes.
So I'm getting the same colors for true and false also.
Yeah, correct. That will happen. That is correct. Yeah.
False.
I'll explain why. I'll explain why that was. Make sure where your square is, okay?
Same thing. But decided that how do I get this?
I'll do that. I'll speak about it. So notice how where it's positioned, okay? It's on the top right quadrant.
Yes.
That is very, very important. If you draw it, if I sort of change the position, right, and then try to draw it, so this is going forward, right? So instead of, let's say, right, I start making it left. Guess what will happen? It will come here. Any idea why it is now fully red? Why is it fully red? Yes, because 0, 0. The red starts from 0, 0, and green goes towards right. Correct? So it starts at red, with red here, and everything before it is red. So that is why those colors are very, very important. Your starting position when you are making that shape, right, is very, very important. You see how important origins are, right? You do something different here, do something different here, everything goes for a toss. Okay, that's a very good trial. Yeah, we'll talk about why that. If you do this minus 200, it will work. The green will be this side. We'll talk about the true side. True means cyclic. It means it does. We'll come there. You know, it sort of jumps like a cycle on both sides. So when you make it true, right, we'll see what it tries to do. Okay, it sort of considers this as a belt and keeps replicating it on all sides. We'll see it when we'll use it for a background color. Here it is not very visible. Yes. We'll use the background color itself instead of limiting ourselves to this. Yeah. There are multiple ways to do that. Okay, so we'll come to this point. Now remember, I mentioned something. The lesser the space, lesser is the distribution. So right now, this is 1 point is here, 1 point is here, right? If I make sort of almost close those points, one being 199 and other being 200, what will happen? You will not notice the distribution at all. Just 1 pixel gap between that. So if I make it 199, sorry, not 199, 99 and 100. So if I say this is 99 and this is 100, so this whole thing is 200, right? I think I need to show the axis. See, what am I saying now? The red is here, 99, and the green is here at 100. So this will be exact two colors. Red here, green here, no mixing. What is that? No, I have not run. So perfect two colors now. Because you have not left any space for them to mix. Concentration camps. So now I have got a same square filled with absolute two colors without actually drawing two squares. Right? Huh? 99,
Yeah.
100, set fill color.
Because of the speed.
No. Go up. That is fine. Did we execute it? Try. Go down. Go down. Oh no. Okay. Go down. Color. Wait.
And delete the output.
Clear it.
Where is the 100?
The square is 100. So this stops it. Yeah. You have to make it 200. Make it 200. Good one. For this to work, your square has to be 200. Okay. No, you can't. It works. Yeah, it becomes full red. Because it sort of says it is already there, right? It does not overlap. You have to allow it some margin to mix. This one is only for 2. Then you have to use multiple gradients. We'll talk about that. Make sense? You can now try it out. Okay. So let us do one thing, right? Let us, instead of using it for a square, let's just set it for the whole background. So we will see what happens. Okay. Remove this. I'm going to remove the square part. Okay. It's not required. Everybody can write their squares. So instead of set fill color, I'm going to say set background color. Set background. Okay. Notice where the turtle is. Turtle is at 0,0. Correct? And see what happened. We said 99. This is 99. Not sure if you notice, but like this slight line. 99. Everything on 99 and before 99 is red. Everything after on 100 and after 100 is green. What is very, very important now is this third final value, which we have said false. That is cyclic. You make it cyclic by saying true, and you will start getting background. So you might not actually see it. It's like very fine line, right? It's a one small drop. See, everything is, yeah, it's a very small drop. So depending on your color preference, right, you will either see red or green. Yes, if you zoom in. So better thing, right? Increase this. So let us make this 100, 0,0, and let's make this 200 again as it was, and you will see a more better. Right. The whole block repeats. Earlier, that block was one thin line between 99 and 100, one small pixel. That's why either you are seeing red or you're seeing green. And see where the total is. So, oops. Some gradient got lost. Yeah. Let me just check the recording. Okay. It's tea time. You can see the gradient in the tea now. They show the ad, right? Where they are pouring the milk in the tea. What you get is the gradient. So just like we used to shout recursion in the 6th standard, right? Now, whenever you see the ad, you can say gradient. Right? That's a gradient. Essentially, it's red here, it's green here. You can see the belt, right? And the same thing repeats. Cyclic. Correct? So red to green, and again there is a red here. So it becomes green to red, and so on. No, it is not opposite. It's exactly like that. See, red to green, correct? It happens red, count with me, right? The distance between them is 200. So you have red to green. What should, if it is cyclic, what should happen after that? After 200, what should come? Red. After another 200, green. Same way. It's red here. After 200, you get a green. After another 200, you get red. They are not cutting the belt and pasting it. Axis. This one. See. 200. Then exactly at 400, you will have pure red. So it's cyclic. Red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. At a distance of 200, 200, 200, 200. Why 200? 0 to 200. Similarly, red, green, red, green, so on. Alternate. It's cycle. Cycle means what are the two colors? Red, green. After that, red. After that, green. After that, red. After that, green, and so on. So it goes in a cycle. Okay. Now, if you change the y value, right, on either side, it becomes tilted, right? So if I make this 200 by 200, see, one point is here, other is 200, this is 200, and then 200 here. So the line now goes like this. So see, if I run this, it's going to give me slanted ones. Sort of tilted the line, right? Earlier line was straight. So it was going like this, red, red, green, red, green. So now it is going tilted, red, green, red, and so on. So we'll halt here. We'll have tea. Please make sure you come fresh because you will need to remind me to resume the recording. Okay. Nobody reminded me about light. So recording on. So we're going to stop programming for a while and we are going to play this exercise, right? So now you can actually cut your shapes and you can try and build. Yeah, I mean, I think only to see this. We can keep the lights on a bit. Kappak hai. Take a look at this shape. Take a look at the shape. There is whale, bird, fish, rooster, a house here, camel, and a duck. Right? You don't cut everything, okay? Just cut one of them. Should I share this on a WhatsApp? Yeah. So I'll share this on a WhatsApp. Telegram light down. हाँ कट करो yeah cut it as you are doing it right, you need to do two things. Okay, first do the shape. After doing the shape, right, write down the steps that you took to do it. Don't write somebody else's shape. Write down the steps that you took. Remember, you have to do it on a graph paper, okay? And all of you remember how we started the positions? We discussed it in the morning, right? How each shape was placed. That's going to be the starting position. From that step, you need to, okay, what I'll do is I'll also share that drive. I'm sharing the numbering, okay? It is going to be Google Slides. You can open it on your phone. Shared on Telegram. Everybody's there, right? Must have got it. Remember the starting positions. You have to cut it. First build the shape. Then for each of those, right? See, the numbers are not given over there. So for you, while writing it, you have to say, okay, this is the shape which starts as per that positioning which is given. How do we organize into building one of this? So with respect to the starting position, you might need to decide how you want to rotate it, where you want to place it. So keep that in mind in order to build this. This, you need not see it here if you can't see it properly. It's also shared on the Telegram. I'll also share some more. Maybe this one is better, slightly. That one. Want to keep it this one? Okay. I have Doni link धाडल्या. You want to keep this? It is there on your phone. Okay. Refer to the numbering. Okay. No. You have to place it and you have to write what steps you took to make that happen. So the graph paper is important. Mark 2 lines on the graph paper on x-axis and y-axis. Correct? On x-axis and y-axis, mark 2 lines. At the end, you are going to read out those steps to me. And I'm going to use those steps on Kojo. And I'm going to do it exactly as what you have said. And let us see which shape it builds. You're not going to tell me which shape it is. You're just going to read your steps. By how many numbers it goes up, how many numbers it goes left, how many numbers it goes right. Okay. Yes.
And then what we do next?
Now we need to record a step. Write down the steps. So there is a step, right? Like this shape has an initial position. No. This is your position.
Okay.
In that doc slides, there is an initial position for this shape.
Okay. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes. So it's
Okay.
so it's sorry. It actually starts like this.
Yes, and then we
Correct.
rotate it.
So
Okay.
you have to note down the steps. How will you get it here? Yes.
I was doing the fish.
Fine.
I can do any shape or I have to do the
Any shape. Yeah. Yeah.
But this square doesn't fit.
Doesn't matter. There is no square there, right?
Yeah.
Or is there? In that shape, there is no square used.
First.
Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. So it is having a starting shape. For example, if you refer to that slide, this shape is like this. Now you have to write down the steps from this shape. How will you make it like this? So you have to write those steps. each shape had a starting position. Okay, each shape bring. Each shape for each shape that you are using to build it, you have to start with its starting position. And then from this starting position, what are the steps you are taking to bring it to the shape that is required to make a picture? Yes. Yes. So this is shared. This is position. So you are not going to show me the picture. It's going to do that, and we'll see what it tries to do. So on your laptop, you can open. You can forget this. You can open this on your half of your screen. Open those slides in other half of the screen, and you can use that as the mapping. See, at the end, जर तुम्ही म्हटले तो triangle point. The reference point is in the first slide, where those shapes are with respect to origin. Because it is easy for you will also understand that. So if you say turn, move, up, down, I'll get. Telegram. You don't have this. Steps आले. Starting from those मी ओपन केला असतील शेअर केले स्लाइड सिंचर असतात. This is the fish. No, it's not. It's there. Yeah, it's there. Correct. Yes, there is one here. Then so this is in middle. This comes in the center. This is here, and then this is fine. Looks proper. This slide.
Sir, full paper shape है ना sir?
Here gala.
What's it?
Here. Okay.
So now when I write the states, I want to write the states that would coordinate the applicant to triangle one. Or
So
just
no. So if you say right, if you open the slide, every shape has a starting position. So you have to start that shape in that starting position.
So I need to literally write the program.
You just write the normal text, and from that starting position, how will you move the shapes in order to get them here?
1, 2, 3, 4.
हे 1 2 3 4 असतात नी ते खयची एक तुम्ही पहिली शेप तयार करता.
Order in बनना 1, 2, 3, 4 order लाव.
होय ऑर्डरला तुम्ही ऑर्डर डिसाइड करात कितें ती पण ताका एक आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल ही शेप आसा नी ही अशी सुरू जाता. सो ती आता जर म्हाका जर ती थंय जाय नी जाल्यार ही हांगाची शेप हांगा कशी येता.
So please be your map.
I've shared the slides. Yes, it is there on the Telegram. It is there. Just share. Yes, exactly as shown in that sheet. If you go, yeah, open that. The 7th stand. Yeah, this one. No. The other one. This one. Yeah. Every shape has a starting position. Okay. Yes.
Even I got this. Now what has to be done? Now, so this one was how should I rotate it to get this wing, right? And say
That's 1 and 2. Correct. Yes. How do you rotate? Yes, to get it in this form. Correct. Yes.
how will I rotate to get this over here? Starting point is here.
See,
Yes.
this one, I just remove it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yes.
See, how
Yes.
will you? What will you do to make
Place
it like this?
What is the term? Yeah.
हय
मागीर तो टर्न केलो
हय
ओके आनी मागीर तो वयर वता
हय हय
आनी मागीर तो हांव
खंयची शेप करता तुमी
अशी जर केली जाल्यार एक टर्न वेलाचो योटेचो पार्ट
वेलाचो वो हय
आनी भायर कशें सांगता मागीर आतां जर हांव आनी मूळ चेंज करता हांगा व्हरता प्लेन कितली सांगू तुमकां आतां वेगवेगळे कितले जालो म्हूण सांगू 10, 20, 30, 40
सो यू कॅन हय
and going somewhere here. So how I should do the
so only if you see right most of them only has like a 45-degree rotation or a 90-degree rotation correct so you can say that and then you can use relatively while you are telling me right move it on this side or that side that is fine block 2 and translate down okay block 1 rotate 180 left translate down and only problem in how much translate down so not exactly essentially if this is coming towards right of the shape 1 it is that you can write so how far it should be so I can actually trace it because I may just say translate left I can keep going right so this values into 100
he shape one shape so flip
hi
correct
oh shit it was like this
so
flip जाल्यार अशी जाली
आणि rotate केली मागीर
रोटेट केली जाल्यार कशी रोटेट अशी अशी तो अशी येतली correct this is flip and then you rotate it comes like this you only rotate from the center all rotations happen from the center okay keep that in mind center of the chart you can translate but no, the translation will happen only from the center or the rotation will happen from the center so here is an example okay let's say this is the board right this is let's say the center and if I ask it to rotate it rotates like this correct the center doesn't change okay but if I translate it and then ask it to rotate how will it go got it right rotations happen from the center order rotate first otherwise it will go everywhere if you want to rotate the shape rotate them first then move
फिक्स केल्या पयलीं तो क्लिक करता म्हणजे तो
असं असं
actually कसो आसा वयर फिक्स
असं-
केला
असं आसा.
उलटो आसा
सो इट्स लाईक
उलटा
दिस.
आसा
हय
उलटा
असं
आसा
आसा.
सो तो उलटा म्हणटा ते आमकां करपा गरज पडटलें
ना ना इट स्टार्ट्स लाईक दिस. तुम्ही बरोवपाची गरज ना. Block 1 turn left 90 degrees. Block 2 turn right 90 degrees. Shift x-axis down. Block 6 shift minus y-axis म्हणजे down, right? And shift minus x-axis towards block 1. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll start doing it. Okay. I don't know what that shape is. Okay. So what we'll do, right? Keep doing. We'll try one experiment. Okay. Sir has completed his part. I am going to do the exact same thing in Kojo. Okay. I don't know what the shape is. So in order to do that, let me first load the program. Just give me a minute. Just note those steps, shapes. So all the shapes are made here. So we'll go step by step. So everyone just note it here, okay? We are recording, right? Yeah, the recording is on. Yes, it is on. I'll just verify that yes, we are indeed sharing the same screen. Okay, should we start? Okay, so what I'll do to start with, see, I've used the same words. Why am I saying shape 1 and 1 twice? same shapes. Okay. Shape 3, shape 4, shape 5, shape 6, shape 7. So if I just show shape 7, it's that, right? So everything is here for us. What I'll do is, let's start one by one. So, sir, can you start? Would you need a mic? Oh, everyone. Yeah. Which one? Which shape? Shape one. Turn, right? So that's rotation. Right? So that's rotate. That's rotated. That's rotated. Left side, right? Clockwise. Sorry, anti-clockwise. Correct? So that's not minus. That is 90. So the rotation happens protector side. So the moment you do that, it becomes this way. Without rotation, no, forget. That's why I said, like, follow the steps shown in the slides. In the slide, there is a starting position for every shape. Let's see. We'll go. Yes. Shape 3. Shape 3. Don't tell the shape, okay? Shape 3. Don't tell what you are making. Just count which shape. Don't tell what you are making. Whether you are making camel, whether you are making this, don't tell me. Yeah. So shape 3. So I'll first draw it, okay? That is shape 3. Is that correct? Yes. So counterclockwise. That's rotated by how much? 90. Minus 90. -45. The other side. Okay. Shape 5. Okay. So this is comma then. So shape 5. Let's put shape 5. Okay. We'll come to know. That's secret. We have to follow the steps and we have to find out whether that is fine. Exactly. The steps will be different. That is the whole point. Steps will be different. Shape 5, right, clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay. That's rotated by how much? Yeah. Yes, rotating. Yeah. Shape 5. Sorry. That's rotated. By how much? Let's see, right? That's translated So y won't change, x won't change. How much? 50. 50 will go up. Minus. So this you mean it is 70.71. It is 70.71. Okay. Yeah. Shape 1. Anti-clockwise. Yeah. This way. 45. Is that correct? Translate down. That's translated. So again, 0, x is 0, correct? So how down? This one plus this one? So minus 146. Is this correct? A little up. So it is basically 70.1 into 2, right? So it is this 70 plus 70, correct? Is this right? Okay. So this is basically your shape 2. Shape 1. Wait. I'll first draw it. Okay. Shape 1. And anti-clockwise. So normal 45. Yes. First come down by how much? Rotate. $90. Like this. Yeah. This is correct. Okay. This is correct. I'll do. We'll go step by step. Then Rahul. She's the instruction set. सगळ्यांचं chance घेतलं. What? Translate or rotate? Same thing. Shape 1. Shape 1. That's rotated. Counterclockwise. Okay. See, the rotations happen from the center. Notice that. Okay. Yeah. That's translated. So why I'll make 0 for now. 150. So this is actually not 150. This is 141.42. Yeah. That point should be 0. Okay, then I'll probably start it with 0 itself, right? So 41.42. Get it up. So it has, this has to be center point, right? So I'll simply say it's 0, right? So we'll get the x value by minus half of it, right? This is half of it, right? We have to move it by half, correct? So if it was 0, where was it? It was here. So we have to get it up. So this one, so this length is, which shape is this? Shape 1, right? Shape 1. So if you hold it like this side is 100. The top side is 200, right? This one is 141. So what you essentially want is 25, right? Move it up by 25. This is 150. Sorry. Yeah, you can. But I want to make it a bit exact. So 50. No, not here. So we want to make it up a bit. So I'll say 50. Let's see. No, not exactly 50, right? Which shape is that? Shape 1, right? So shape 1. So which side is that rotated? Made 90. Let us remove this first, okay? We have to get it down just by that much amount, right? Correct? This. So this is getting it down by 100. Correct? So minus 100. And this part, right? So let's make this 0. And see, this total is 200. So this is 100. So right by 100. Shape 6. What? Rotate. That's rotated. First, let's see what shape 6 is. Correct? Yeah. Now, flipped. With flipped X. So it comes this side now. Now, clockwise. That's rotated 45. So that's negative. Clockwise is negative. Shape 7. Dot. पहिली shape 7 के तो पढ़ो या. That is shape 7. Now, that's translated. Rotated by 180. Hello. And it's here. See, I don't know what shape she's building. I'm simply following the instructions. Keep in mind where the center is. 135. That's rotated 135. We'll fill it up with a color. That's filled with red. See, that is the shape now. 180. See, if I rotate it by 180, right? See. This is the center. How? Like this? Like this. So I get this here. Like this. So this is 45. See, this is 45. So this is 45 and this is 90. Minus 135 is this side. Pilot. Pilot. That's kicked. So that's rotated minus 135. Hello. That's translated 0 म्हणजे x axis चेंज करप ना. So 0 आणि so this is here, right? This point, right? This is 70 point. So wait, I have to verify that our 70, right? It is 70.71. 70.71. Shape 4 वापरू ना मी अजून. X कितने mm? By this much, right? So this is also, yeah, minus 70.71. कोई भी रिले हमें. So half of, so 35. What is 35? Or is it exactly? No, no. It's, I think exactly 70.71. So एक काढली आणि पहिली. Shape 4. Okay. Color घालूया पहिली. आता this is the shape 4. Okay. See the center point. Okay. Clearly. Shape 4. ना ma'am. Shape 4 तसंच. That's rotated. That is clockwise. By how much? So if you make it 90, right, this border will come and touch here. So it will go like this. 90. Right? Now? This point here. So same thing, right? 7141.42. That's translated 0, 141.42. So that's your duck. Right? So there is a rotation, there is a translation. We have seen. Say here that's rotated 45. The whole see, the whole thing got rotated. Or let's say 10. See, full duck is or minus 10. Do. Everyone has done it from their side. Okay, what I'll do is this code I'll share. Okay, you can download it. Forget this part first. Okay. So done, right? You have to do it here. If you want color, that you can put I myself lost the network. So. Share the Tangram, Kojo. This code is shared, okay? It's there. All the shapes are there. I'll explain. It's an empty picture. There's nothing in it. The network. Network there. सगळ्यांक network असा for it to download. माझ्याच गेले. मेळ्या बुड मग.
I'll have to download and then share it on WhatsApp because I passed my WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll share it on WhatsApp also. I'll share it on WhatsApp. Share केलाय का? So all the shapes, right, are here. They are all defined. Okay, and I'll share the dimensions. I'll show you the dimensions. Dimensions are important, right? See, these are the dimensions, okay? So don't try and calculate 150 or whatever. The whole square is 200 by 200. The whole square, right, is 200 by 200. So if you see shape 1, right, here, shape 1, this and this side is 200, this side is 200. This side is Pythagoras theorem. So this side is 100, this side is 100. Correct? This is half. So that means this length is 50, this length is 100. This is 100, this is 100. So this one, if you try to calculate with Pythagoras theorem, it comes as 1. So this is not comma, okay? This is dot. So this side that you see, this and this is 141.42. Okay? See, half of it is 100, whole is 200. So this was the shape. This was the shape. Which shape is this? This is shape 4. Here, if you see, it's one side is 100 and two sides are 70.71. So you can use this as a reference. बरोवपाक जाय, बरोवन फोटो काढू, बरोवन फोटो काढूंक जाय. Okay. Pen असं कोणाचं? हा जस्ट कन्फ्युज आहेत. I'll explain. Doesn't come. That's the reason. You figured it out. I'll just come. This is shared, okay? So with respect to your copy, you can exactly see what are the dimensions. Now it is easy. Understand the angles, okay? This is 90. This is 90. These are 45. These are this is 45. This is 135. Okay, understand the angles. So let us see what shapes we make now. So
कित्येक पडलेले काढता आणि
yes. Put everything in a pick structure. Don't change here. It will be confusing. Because if you moment you change it here, right? Okay, okay. But then you have to anyways put them in a pick stack, right? Okay. Correct. Yeah. Dot that's rotated. That's rotated. CHA. Press control space. is not working. Can you try it down if it works? Right. Let's see. Yeah, it comes here. Yeah. Try it out over there. Try it out there. Here only. Try it out here only. You can put them in the pick stack because directly there is a draw here. So it will automatically get drawn. So you can quickly check. Comment out other things. I'll explain. These dimensions you have seen, right? I'll explain why that curly brackets is there, okay? There is a bug. There is a bug in Kojo. This first picture, right? You cannot autocomplete. So if I say shape 1 here and then dot, it doesn't autocomplete, right? You can't leave it blank. So you have to give an empty picture there. Yeah, if you autocomplete, yes. Yeah, then it works for all the next command onwards, right? So everything is here, all the shapes are defined. Leave this, remove rest of the stuff, right? Tangram.draw is already called at the end. Which one? Here? It is an empty picture. I cannot leave this part blank. I have to write there something. So I've just given an empty picture there. It's like a blank canvas. That's it. Nothing about that. Those are pictures. They are all defined here. See, shape 3. They are all pictures. No, here it possibly won't autocomplete because we have not said that this is the picture. So if I say here like that picture, then it might autocomplete. Okay. But if I remove this, then it won't autocomplete. There's some bugs across systems. This pick stack is going to be very, very important, okay? Because the moment we start building any of the recursive steps, right, everything is going to be happening around pick stack. Kids have done it, man. तशी थोड्यांनीच केल्या मॅम थोड्यांनीच केल्या मॅम स्क्रॅच सुद्धा कितल्या जाणांनी केला बाकीच्यांक येते दिवपाचे करून बाकीच्यांक येते शिकोवपाचे तांकां कोड दिवपाचो करून चेंज करा म्हणून which one should I keep this open or that open? That is sent to ma'am everyone. So time starts now. Yeah. That's here. You need a comma here. Don't put semicolon there. Comma, and here also you need a comma. Anything P1, P2, P3, P4.
P1 is picture.
Everything is a picture. Everything is a picture. All are pictures.
Oh, but when I go to syntax, it says P1.
That's just a reference. That's just a reference. You can just say any picture you want over here. I'll give an example. Okay. Let's say shape 1 and try and draw it. Shape 1 and then draw your fish. Fish dot draw. Yeah, run it. See? If you want more, give comma and put another shape.
But then how that,
Why?
one that picture only told us it is a problem.
So that is because the first try and say shape 1 dot control space. Say it doesn't complete.
Oh,
Put comma, shape 1 comma. Again shape 1 dot control space. See? So the first one in that list, the autocomplete does not happen.
So that P1,
I just kept it as a blank picture.
so for P1 it is a
Blank picture.
and P2 is when we start drawing.
Yes,
Uh,
that way.
I'm still getting something expected. Suppose if I change it to a semicolon.
Wait. You cannot say draw here. Remove draw. Yeah, now try. Comma. Picture, comma. Picture, wait. Fish, remove this. This is not curly bracket. This is a round bracket. Similarly at the end. Yeah. Now value draw is not a member of. If you go down, the fish. Move this bracket up. Yeah, I'm coming. AC. Hi. Hi, sir.
Got it, sir?
Worked, right?
Yes.
Great. Yes.
If it is down, it's a problem.
If it is, yeah, it has to, like, the first bracket should start next to the word. Always. One day I'm you. So if you see, right? So I've shared the lengths or the sizes of this. So this is 200, correct?
Yes.
This whole thing is 200. This is 200, right? How much is this?
200, yeah.
No,
No,
so if you see, right, this, right, it's a Pythagoras theorem. So this is whole thing is 200. So this part is 100, right? And this part is 100. This part is 100. This is 100. So how much is this? If you put it, you will get it as 141.70. No, 42. I think. So root of 100 square plus 100 square. So this part, see, this is 141.42, correct?
Yeah.
So half of that is 70.70.
Okay, that is how the points are.
Yes, that is how you figured the dimension. Now, once you know,
Yeah.
you can figure out. So, how much is this up? How much is this?
Shape fill करून द्या.
We'll come to filling the shapes. First, let's work only on this. I'll cover filling the shapes.
Here, this row was here. Okay.
Yes.
Now I brought it over here. I brought it over here. Now I only want it to come like this.
You have to first rotate me.
So
Every rotation happens from the center. If you move it like this, it will move like this.
because both the axes are moving and it's coming back and I say,
So that is why you first rotate. You first rotate to the side you want
and then put that
and
side.
then move it. Hoy, ma'am. There is a problem there. It's stretched. In the printout, it got stretched a bit. It's same. Yes. Two triangles will make a square. Yeah.
You not started.
Yeah, sure. For now, ignore what is there on top, okay? Ignore what is there on top. Focus only on the pick stack. Do not worry about filling the color. Okay? You have just got 7 shapes. 2 of them is shape 1. And don't start with all 7 shapes. Do 1 shape, run it, try rotating or moving it. Or even flipping it. Try and get the idea, okay? There the turtle was moving. Here we have shapes which are moving. Rotating, moving, up, down. So in the 6th standard, there was this subject for GIMP. So the whole idea was trying to build a scenery, if you remember that scenery, using only a right angle triangle, a circle, and a square. That was the whole idea. Yes. That was the first part, drawing everything using just a triangle. So here, create the scene, sky, sun, mountain, and what was this? Using the given black shapes of basic shapes. So this is a precursor to what you're doing now. That's great. It's a concept change. So that is more related to the GIMP lesson than anything you've done with Scratch.
This is here.
Even if you don't decide the center, that is fine.
Okay.
But every shape, right, when it's created, they have a center.
Okay.
So you can need to decide with respect to their basic shape in order to get them here or in this form, what we will need to do.
Okay.
Right,
So-
like this one, right,
Yeah.
is clearly rotated by 45.
Which one's the
This parallelogram is rotated by 45 degrees. If you try that.
So now this triangle in the image is over here.
Yeah.
So how do we
So you have multiple options. Either you get them towards the left side, or you leave it there where it is and adjust remaining shapes around.
So
That is up to you. That is up to you. That is up to you. No, no,
So
no.
how should I get this number 5 here down? This I want to clear.
This you want there, right? So first you will need to translate it towards the right.
Right.
You know what is this length? I have shared, correct? In one of those. So I've shared the size of this. So if you want this point to be here, you need to translate it on the X by this length.
Yes.
And then you need to get it down, which is this length.
Flip.
So just write it down, right? So this is nothing but the shape is like this, correct?
Yes.
You have to get it like this, you have to get it down. That's it. शनिवार मॅम खाऊन सुद्धा मॅम हा फर्स्ट
हे जर असं स्केल केलं म्हणजे आणि पोहायचं आपण
ते घर
स्केल केलं
नाही सेंटर दाखितलं तो सांगणार was the main critical.
Can you specify if you want or it is by default a center?
By default, there is something called as rotate around. Then you give the x and y and say rotate around that.
Then I have to move the origin from that to that vertex.
तुका हडपाची गरज नाही रोटेट around.
When I saw whether struggling, I didn't understand from where it rotates.
आता असं तुझ्या आपण समजा yeah, I saw in the fish.
I'm also trying to see how they work on transparency. I'm testing it out.
Like how we read
माझी actually one part to level मोठा.
Everyone knows why Venkatesh sir is here today, right? So actually this comes after GIMP. You were asking, right, why GIMP is there, so much focus is given to Scratch. Now you'll probably understand that GIMP should have been the primary focus and not the Scratch. More. Now you can try filling the colors if you want. I tried to press a button, something happened. I don't know what happened. Yeah, fish. Try filling the colors if you want. You can try different colors if you want.
So in this picture, can we use a loop to create a object, to create a shape?
We can. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. No, we'll come there. Here the basic idea is this. You can try. Sure. We'll come there.
What is this turning? Now I'm focusing on this one.
Yeah.
This one. How will I get the turning exactly?
See, you want to get it here, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually like this to start with. What you want to do is you want to get it like this. Correct?
Yeah.
So, you know how much is this now? That will be calculated. So it's like this. So the first step is flip it with flipped.
Oh, with flipped
Correct.
x-axis, yeah.
Now you have this point.
Hmm.
Correct. So you have to get this point over here,
Hmm.
which means you have to like move this all the way by this much distance.
So
Right.
translate it.
So this distance plus this distance, this center, right? You have to move this center here,
So translate
and then
now,
this
sir.
much. Correct. So that is
Yeah.
translate, and it will come there.
Oh, first flip it.
Yes.
I just want to know that. Now this was over here. This was over here. Like this.
It is no. It is actually like this. It's actually like this.
Oh. So now I got it over here. Now I cannot understand how to get the angle.
First rotate it, man. First rotate it the way you want it.
I rotated it and I got it over here.
I think you first translated it. Shape 6. By how much did you rotate it, ma'am? 45?
Minus
I think it is. It should be just 45.
this one. Minus 45.
Yes. Which shape you're trying to do?
This one. This one.
So where you want to get it?
There. Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Correct? Like
Yeah.
this, right? So if you see, you have to want to get this straight line here. So first think, how will you get it here?
I
See.
just did it this.
Yeah. So it is here, right? It is here, correct? So if you,
Okay, so yeah, I'm deleting this.
yeah, just say shape 6,
Yeah. It's here.
correct?
Oh,
That shape is here, right?
Now how to measure that thing when I put a
I have given the dimension.
no. When I do this.
Yeah.
How do I measure? Like how do I come to know what is the angle like?
So this is the angle. So if you want this line to be coming on this line, right? This is 90 degrees angle,
Yeah.
correct? So if you want this line to be coming, it's like this, right? If you want it to be coming like this, you have to find out how much is that angle.
Yeah. So this will be minus. Or it will be
So
plus or
this
zero?
is, so this side is positive.
Ah.
This protector, see, its protector 0 is here, right?
Okay.
And as you increase the angle, it
So
goes
this
in
becomes
clockwise.
So this side will always be negative and this side is positive.
So this side is positive. It's like this. It's angle, right?
Yeah.
So as you increase the angle, it will turn that side. As you decrease the angle, it will turn this side.
So it will be positive.
So this will be negative.
Right is negative.
Right is negative. Left is positive. Correct?
What about down? Same thing. Huh?
Same thing.
So this will go on being negative till it
So this will,
reaches
if you keep on increasing it, it will go like this. It is a turn. How you want to turn it?
Yeah.
This is increasing. This turn is decreasing. So you have it something like this here, and what you want is you want it to be coming up like this.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So the first thing is you flip it.
Oh.
Then you turn it by 45. Then you move it down.
Thank you. So I have to get it down now.
Yes, you have to get it down. You have to get it. Export it and share it. Good one. Zalo, what Zalo? Whale. Whale, that first one. Whale. That's a bird. There is a tree also there. Butterfly is there. No. They're different. No? Right. So if you see this one is 100. Now see here two sides are 70. Yeah, okay, correct. Yeah. Yes. I understood. That's same. होय मॅम कंट्रोल स्पेस पहिल्या लाईनीक जायना मॅम हा जाऊ ना जाता न्ही ओके कळपाक मॅम नाल्यार कळना न्ही if I suddenly say something like you don't like that confusion happened, right? Didn't execute it kind of thing. Why we change the color but it is not coming. So the moment I do that, you can see it is there. Control space autocomplete. Drop down. Tree. Very good, man. You can remove the show axis and this and export it and share it. Auto-ended command shift F किती यायचा अशी किती मॅकाची सगळीकडे बड जातात
So they've got all those things. Shortcut in there, and if you don't get this help, control space bar will na.
pivot point आपण असं नाही ब्लेंडर नाही असं आता जातले आता काय
Origin and so there is world origin and there is national origin. So putting करपायला हवा त्यांना ते सारखं फर्स्ट लिमिट त्यांना दोन्ही डिफरंट असं so rotation can be around the origin or around
point
the point can change. It could be a vertex, it could be an edge, it could be whatever or the center of the mesh.
या कसा काय करूचा
हाँ so for every shape is there
yes
for every shape here
yes
anyway you can say dot command space and start typing that's filled with give a color yes हाँ so he is showing 69 this one right there is no comma here you need a comma there 68 so if you that's 0 comma I think one bracket is so it's saying 68 value there is not a member of spelling that's try to use autocomplete drop down comma control plus control shift plus or minus no control shift plus
Whenever I give this now, I get an error again.
with comma yes every shape has a comma every shape has a comma 20 कलर घाला की. Perfect. Is everyone getting it? Comfortably? Great. Let's try two or three more, or two shapes more, right? And after lunch, we'll continue this further. Okay? But the idea is simple. Now do not think of a turtle. Nobody is holding a pen. You are holding a shape. So every exercise that you do, think about Tangram. Just like this, right? These are just some basic shapes, right? Which are here. Like this, you can have shapes. There are circles. Actually, the whole image is also a shape if you want. Right? So I can, once I have a fish, I can make it go around. Keep him my field. So some parents apparently had a concern that we are only teaching how to draw and not computation, right? So after lunch break, right, we'll see how this is the computation. So if any parent asks you, you'll be able to answer it. Yes.
I didn't use the fifth
Shape
shape.
4 and 5 is same. It is.
I didn't like this one. I changed, right? I copied the same thing.
Yes. The same. Shape 1 and 2 is same, 4 and 5 are same. So if you try, right, two people might have done fish and the steps would be entirely different. Right? Each of those individual steps, right, they form an algorithm. But they don't start by saying this is the first step. Everybody has a different first step. It's the process which is important. Everybody has. We'll do animation next. Flick. Whatever start sharing from all of you. If you go to file, you will see wait. Where did that go? That's funny. I was actually looking at a wrong place. So if you see here, there is an up arrow, right? If you go there, it gives you option for registering on the codex. So you register over there, and then you can start sharing your code. So up arrow, do you see an up arrow here? Yes, upload to the code exchange. So go there, register. So this is the code exchange, just like Scratch Studio. I'll give this one now. There's a boat, there's a dog, there's a heart, there's a butterfly, there is a tree. before uploading to Codex, right? Make sure you run the code, because that picture coming on the canvas is important. Whatever is there on the canvas, when you upload it, it will get uploaded. हाँ. बस करिए ना. Pausing the recording, okay? Remind me to record again.